Hey guys, and welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little short, but I think the tips and tricks in here might make your life a little easier in Into the Radius. These are things that I do in Into the Radius, and by no means are the only way to do things, but I find that these are pretty helpful. I'm going to start out with probably the most useful, and that's the side pouch healing trick. You'll often see that I keep my healing items in the small side pouch on your left. The reason for this is simply because of quick access and the ability to stack multiple of them in the same area. And when I inevitably have to heal, I just simply grab one from my pouch, stick it in my arm, and I'm ready to rock. This is way more convenient than, say, having only one stim on your arm or just carrying them all in your backpack. So if you haven't been using the side pouch as a healing container, I recommend doing so. The next tip is probably the second most useful, and that's knives. Knives in the early game should be your primary weapon. They're great for dealing with shades and fragments and occasionally getting the cheeky kill on a spawn. And if you can get close enough, they do fairly well against cops, but I wouldn't recommend using knives against anything else. Between silently killing enemies and saving all that ammunition, it really is to your benefit to learn how to throw knives. The next thing we're going to talk about is the chest rig, specifically how I hold my magazines. If you've ever looked at my chest rig in any of my videos, you'll notice I always carry 3 magazines out of the total of 4 that you could carry. The reason for this is quite simple. Technically, I have 4 magazines for whatever my primary may be at the time. I carry 1 inside the gun and the other 3 on my chest plate. When the one inside the gun runs out of ammunition, I put that one onto my chest plate and grab the next one to the left and reload with that. You'll notice I'll have an empty spot again. What this does is it allows me not to have to scramble around either throwing magazines on the ground or trying to fiddle fart and put it into my backpack, and seamlessly just continuing to move down the line to the left. This is also useful when magazines are only half full. All the magazines with spare ammo left in them are on the right side of my chest carrier, where full magazines would be on the left. I always found this to be the best setup because I'm able to look down and immediately understand what my ammunition situation is. The fourth tip I have for you really isn't gameplay related, but it's just knowing where the stashes are. You may have found on your journeys throughout the radius little notes referring to stashes hidden around the radius. Now, if it's your first time playing, I wouldn't really worry about finding them, but there's 2 in particular in the early game that make a huge difference in your power level. The first one is the TT-33 located outside of the train station. You can find this one off to the left of the train station in the woods inside of a pipe. Inside, you're going to find a few boxes of ammunition, a couple of magazines, a TT-33, and most importantly, a suppressor. You can immediately attach the suppressor to the TT-33 and you have your first suppressed weapon of the game. Not to mention, the TT-33 is an excellent side weapon. The rounds are fast and accurate and pack a decent punch. The next stash you're going to want to find is the PP-91 located on the Bolotki route. It's to the left of the main factory building where the large anomaly cluster is. Look for a red pipe and a sunken boat. Inside, you'll find the PP-91, a suppressor, a magazine, and a little bit of ammo for it. You're obviously going to want to get this repaired and buy 3 more magazines for it. The suppressor that you found also attaches to the PP-91 as well. And now you have both a silenced pistol and SMG for little to no effort. And I have before run the entire game with nothing more than the PP-91. It's an excellent firearm and you really don't have to upgrade from it if you don't want to. But the last one here is something that I don't see a lot of people talk about, but is something that I do, and that's carrying a cleaning rod and toilet paper. There's 2 real reasons why I have it. 1 is to cut down on maintenance cost, and 2 to prevent jamming. Because there is nothing worse than being in the middle of a firefight and having your gun jam. It's something that I do as part of my maintenance after a firefight. Usually after I get done reloading magazines, I'll just grab a couple of pieces of paper and run them through my guns. It doesn't weigh very much, takes very little effort, and it's going to save you money and maybe even your life in the end. But there we go, those are 5 things that I do in Into the Radius that just make my life easier. I'm sorry if the video's a little short, but I was currently working on a project that's taking a little longer than anticipated. Here's a little hint to what I've been doing, but hey guys, that's all I got for now, and I'll see you later.